Whole suite of apps in less time than it takes to get a passport renewal. Well, that is the absolutely wild claim behind a new architectural manifesto called Neural Prism. 40 days. That's the number. The core claim is that an entire spectrum of 24 different applications was built from scratch in just 40 days, all using the Google Gemini ecosystem. Now, this isn't just about moving a little faster. This is a different kind of speed altogether. It's a quantum leap. But it begs a question, speed for what? What's the point?
Well, here's the point. The whole idea is to completely rebalance the equation of human effort. The grand vision, the big dream, is to build tech that's so ridiculously efficient, it fundamentally changes our relationship with our jobs. It's about moving society from a place of work for survival to one where we can actually work for joy.
Okay, but you can't just snap your fingers and get to that future, right? To get there, you've got to smash through some seriously massive technical walls that have been holding back AI development for years.
First up, there's something the creators call the infrastructure tax. You know what this is. It's when every great idea gets bogged down, weighed down by the need for physical servers and containers. It's a hidden tax on innovation, a drain on energy, and frankly, a total buzzkill. Neural Prism was engineered to get rid of it completely.
Second, we have a huge problem with compute waste. For years, we've been using our most powerful, most expensive AI models for really simple tasks. It is literally like using a supercomputer to do basic arithmetic. It's inefficient, it's expensive, and it's just a massive waste of power.
And finally, there was the big one, the 8K synthesis wall. This was a hard limit in older models. You'd ask it to do something really complex, like write a long piece of code, and at a certain point, the AI's logic would just crumble. It would fall apart, lose the plot, and essentially forget what it was even trying to do in the first place. Super frustrating.
So those were the walls. The big question is, how on earth did this team break through all three of them? Well, they did it by completely rethinking the architecture of AI from the ground up. Let's take a look inside the Neural Prism. So the secret sauce here isn't one giant, all-knowing AI brain. No. Instead, it's what they call a sovereign intelligence hub. And it's built from all these modular components. Think of them like specialized Lego bricks. Each brick is a piece of logic, and you can snap them together to build these hyper-efficient, verifiable tools for basically any task you can imagine. Of course, anyone can make big claims. Talk is cheap, right? Big claims require big proof. So the entire system was put through the ringer, a super rigorous technical audit. Let's see how it actually held up when the judges started asking the really tough questions. First question, and it's a zinger. It cuts right to the heart of that whole compute waste problem. They asked, how do you figure out which jobs go to the powerhouse models and which ones don't without just burning through your entire budget? And the answer is just brilliantly efficient. Instead of sending all the raw, messy data to the most powerful AI, they first create this tiny compressed fingerprint of it. It's called a vector map, and it captures all the essential logic without any of the noise. And only that tiny map gets sent to the heavy hitter model. The result? A massive save on compute. Okay, that's a fair question, right? If you're shrinking the data down so much, how do you make sure you're not losing all the critical little details you need to get the job done right? How does it not lose the nuance? Well, the secret is this really clever concept they called logic anchors. See, the map isn't just some blurry summary. It's a super precise array of checkpoints, these anchors, that mark the most important moments of change in the logic. The system uses these points to perfectly reconstruct the full picture while consuming, get this, a whopping 90% fewer resources. Just incredible. And now for the final boss. How did they finally get past that crippling 8K synthesis wall, the one that stumped everybody else? Their solution is basically like an orchestra. First, you have a really fast, lightweight model, Gemini Flash, that acts like the individual musicians. It breaks the big problem down and works on all the small pieces at the same time. Then, all those results get fed to the powerhouse model, Gemini 3 Pro, who acts as the conductor. The conductor doesn't try to play every instrument, it just intelligently weaves all the individual parts together into one single coherent masterpiece. And that is how they smashed right through the synthesis wall. So you see, all this deep technology, all this clever engineering, it isn't just some cool science project. It's the engine that actually powers that grand vision we talked about at the beginning. Let's see how this radical new architecture can build a whole new economy. This kind of architecture makes a true circular economy possible. In this system, when people contribute, their work is verified with digital badges and they get rewarded with AI coins. It lets literally anyone take those modular logic bricks we talked about and assemble them into real specialized tools, like the mock interview studio you see here. It basically turns the platform into a factory for human growth.
Look, this isn't some hypothetical, far off future. It's a proof of concept that survived a brutal technical audit. The system works, and the final status from the team's manifesto says it all: handshake verified, refraction complete. So the only real question left is, what happens now?